Open innovation is innovation without organizational boundaries. It's getting out of your lab, getting out of your silo. It's co-creation, collaboration with startups, with clients, with suppliers, what have you. Startups provide us with a fresh perspective of technologies, of ways of doing business, things we haven't thought of before. They also bring a lot of agility and passion, which all bring a new input to our business. Open innovation at Engie is based on 3 pillars. Startup investments through our corporate venture fund Engie New Ventures, who invests in startups with new technologies and new business models to create options for Engie in the future. We also have incubator structures as the second pillar, who are there to create new ventures and new offers based on some of these startup solutions and some of the amazing internal innovations that our colleagues have come up with. And thirdly, we need to manage and animate this innovation ecosystem, both internally and externally. We need to make sure that there's collaboration. We need to make sure that there's co-creation. We need to make sure that we involve all of the different ideas that are coming up. To do this, we have various tools to animate this community, to create awareness, to create excitement, to boost collaboration, and to assure that they're all going towards a shared vision and shared targets. And for this, we need roadmaps which create a blueprint for the direction we're going, but still allowing for the myriad of initiatives and innovations that are happening across the world. Engie New Ventures was created in 2014 with 180 million euros of funding and has to date invested in 26 startups from geographies very diverse, from North America, from Israel, from Europe, from France, etc., Asia as well. So they are looking for Series B or C investment, where the startup is already mature enough to address the market, already has some products that have proven themselves, but still need a big group like Engie to help them scale internationally and help them develop products which can be inserted into Engie's offers. We have Engie factories in Paris, Engie New Business Factory, in Singapore, Engie Factory Singapore, and in LATAM, in Santiago and in Mexico, which are all looking to develop new ventures, create new ventures based on some of the innovations that have been developed internally or externally. In some of these structures, they're also looking for founders where we have a good idea of what we want to do. We cannot find it on the market, but we do believe that a true entrepreneur could run with it and bring us what we actually need. Many other BUs have different other structures, not Engie factories, to host innovation. Sometimes it is done through excubation with other partners. So therefore it becomes a very diverse ecosystem of various business incubation and accelerating structures. The measure of success for each of our innovation activities is based on the impact it brings to our operations and our businesses. Since different activities address different parts of the innovation funnel, these can be different types of measurements. It is very important that this impact, of course, cannot be just ROI as in traditional business, and many times ROI is something which doesn't make a lot of sense in innovation projects. But even without that, innovation projects can absolutely add value and impact to our business and our operations. Therefore, when we talk to our various constituents who are using these innovations, we actually are asking what their KPIs are in their specific business. And we want to make sure that these innovative ideas and projects actually boost their own KPIs, and therefore those become our own KPIs. Engie New Ventures, as our corporate venture capital, obviously has financial KPIs, but these are not the most important, as they need to provide options for the group's future. We need to make sure that there is strict strategic alignment with every startup investment that they make. Therefore, one of their key KPIs is how many POCs, how many pilot projects they have managed to set up with different business units, how many business units are actually using the solutions the startup is proposing. This is a key KPI, of course, for the startups scaling up, which means we can also put these solutions into various geographies over time. The new business factories have also KPIs with regards to business units. You cannot create new ventures and new offers if the business units are not commercializing them. Therefore, they also have alignment KPIs with the business units. The trophies, we have many KPIs. One of them is the amount of people participating in the trophies, obviously, which is growing year on year. But given that we want to boost collaboration, we are also looking more and more to how many of these projects are multi-BU, how many of these projects are created in co-creation with external parties, etc. And so this is different measures of success for different types of activities. But rather than creating new KPIs for innovation per se, as I said, we need to make sure that our activities are actually helping and boosting impact in the business and operations. Therefore, we look at the KPIs that they already have and see how we can help those with our innovative projects. To give you an example, if purchasing is looking to boost the level of insourcing, meaning the amount of services it buys from other entities within the group, then by proposing them the innovative projects coming from the group, we can help them increase this level of insourcing with really innovative projects. Key barriers to startup collaboration are cultural, and by cultural I mean corporate culture, as well as fragmentational. By this I mean that there may be silos in our organization given the large scope of geographies and activities that we cover. Therefore, in order to break these barriers, we need to break these two barriers. In terms of corporate culture, obviously startups work in a very different way to corporates. But to bring them closer, we give our employees startup training, entrepreneurial skill set over e-learning and coaching to make sure that they come a little bit closer to what the startup is experiencing and how they think about creating new business. And vice versa. We need to make sure that we teach some of the corporate constraints to our startups that we work with. This is a very important part of the onboarding process with them. In terms of the silos, we need to make sure that these startups are known not just by the BU that they have been addressed by, but some of the other BUs who are looking at very similar problems and prospects. Therefore, we have created a platform where all of these startup solutions can be found, and 33,000 of our employees are connected to this platform and can search across startup solutions. They can search, exchange ideas and discuss with their colleagues on what they think about the solutions and how to move forward. So through this platform and many other platforms at Engie, we need to make sure that there is a vast awareness of the different projects happening at different levels in the organization, whether it be research or innovation or business development, and make sure that we, this way, break the barriers to startup collaboration. Another way to break the startup collaboration barrier, obviously, is in project mode. Putting people together at the same table and giving them shared KPIs to work towards a shared goal always helps to break these barriers, at least at that very micro level. Our focus areas for open innovation obviously track the focus areas of Engie's strategy. Engie's strategic targets have been made very clear. We aim to be a leader of the energy transition, and therefore all innovations that are helping us achieve this goal are within our focus. What does that mean? Renewables. Obviously, Engie wants to grow ambitiously in renewables, having a lot more renewable assets in operation. Therefore, we cannot imagine that this will be able to do with today's technologies. We need innovation in sourcing the new sites, in operating the assets, in dispatching, in flexibility, in performance, etc. All of these innovations are very important for a future of Engie in renewables. The other one is green gases. Obviously, Engie believes a lot in green gases. Engie believes in hydrogen being the new energy carrier of the world. Therefore, a lot of our innovations will be going into hydrogen, the creation, the generation, the transportation, the storage, and the usage of hydrogen. And similarly for biogas, given that we have large gas infrastructures, we also want to make sure that these green gases, biogas or hydrogen, will be able to use these legacy infrastructures, and therefore a lot of innovation needs to go into conversion of those infrastructures for the future. Finally, we have customer solutions. In being the leader of the energy transition does not just mean ourselves, but being the leader in trying to provide services to our customers in their own energy transition and their own climate transition journeys. whether it be cities, industries, buildings, etc. So therefore, all innovations that help us with this, the decarbonization and the sustainability roadmaps of different industries, of different communities, of circular economy, can be very important. And last but not least, as you may have gathered from the last, digitalization, of course, is overarching, and all of these solutions will need a big layer of digitalization. So digital solutions helping us in our operations, in our client interfaces, in the offers that we offer clients, will be a very important axis of innovation and open innovation for our group. And lastly, I would like to thank Minderbridge and ICC for this great opportunity for us to be able to participate in the Corporate Startup Stars 2020 edition. It has been a truly enlightening experience, and we're looking forward to put new ideas into motion.